We opened the show with the Marshall Mathers tweet because he's very happy, as all Lions fans are, that offensive coordinator Ben Johnson is sticking around. For the second straight year, he removed his name from consideration. He has informed the Commanders and the Seahawks that he is staying with the Lions. Now, last year, the popular reaction to it was he knew he wasn't getting a job, so he removed his name from consideration.
Right.
That's the Michael Scott move, and others have done that as well. I removed my name from consideration because I know I'm not going to be offered an opportunity. This year, and this kind of bugs me, this year, what's been put out there by Shefty, and look, when he puts it out there, it spreads like wildfire.
Yeah.
Because he got 10.7 million followers on X.
Sure.
He puts out there this idea that some teams were scared away by his asking price, and that just cries out for more information. I got a problem with that, and I'm not just looking to pick a fight with Shefty gratuitously, but it's the kind of thing, if I put it out there, I'd get killed for it. You put out there the idea that the teams are scared by the guy's asking price with nothing more. Well, what is his asking price? Is it unreasonable? Is it reasonable? I mean, they're thinking about paying Jared Goff $40 million in Detroit. Like if a team is faced with the prospect of paying Ben Johnson $15 million, and that's deemed too much, how's that too much if the guy's going to come in and be more valuable than a Jared Goff would be to your offense, and they're going to pay him $40 million in Detroit? So I'd want more context there. What is this number that's supposedly scaring teams away? Because that's a tough thing to put on a guy without giving him a chance to respond to it, and without giving us more context.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a game-changing decision. I think that's the first thing I'd hit on. Just from, me, football standpoint, I look at it and go, man, the 2024 landscape, Ben Johnson, okay, the Lions ain't going anywhere now. I mean, that was my big question about the Lions. Well, they're not going to have Ben Johnson next year, right? What's Jared Goff going to look like without Ben Johnson, and how are they going to adjust? This is a special coach. This is definitely, like, no doubt about it, one of the best offensive minds in football right now. He is right up there with Shanahan, Andy Reid, right? Sean Payton. He is the next guy. I think most people in the football world believe that he could be that guy. Mike McDaniel, he's your next guy along that line of Shanahan, McVay, McDaniel, Ben Johnson, cutting edge, game plan specific, finds things to do, got a great system, and then knows how to throw curveballs off that system. So, for him to stay in Detroit's a big deal. For most people, thought it was kind of, like lock, stock, he was going to the Washington Commanders. I think it's a big blow to the Washington Commanders. They lost what I would look at to be the number one best prospect to be a successful head coach that's on the market right now. Everybody's looking for the offensive mind guy, right? The guy that can be game changer on the offense with game plans and everything else. And then you add on top of that, he can coach the quarterback and get the most out of a quarterback, make him better than maybe he appears, and who knows what he can do with a superstar. But we've seen what he's done with Jared Goff. So that's where the first place my mind went to. And then the other stuff comes into play, Mike. You're right. And then listen, the thing I've heard through the people I know in football, this guy's not a politician. He's not a guy that's working back channels trying to get a job, right? It's a little like my buddy Kyle Shanahan, where he just wants to coach football and not really talk to the media, which, I think is respectable, but we all know you got to play the game a little too to get where you want to go. But I think this guy's also a guy that's extremely confident in his abilities and knows he's the man. And he's not going to just settle for, I got to be a head coach. I'll just take any job with any type of pay or contract or whatever. I think he's going to make sure he's at a place where he looks at it and goes, ducks are all in a row. I like it here. I could succeed. They're not going to be able to throw me overboard after 2 or 3 years. They're going to let my plan and process work out. And I think he was willing to say, okay, I'll go back and wait for my opportunity that I like next year, and hopefully he gets that opportunity.
But that's not what Shefty said. See, that's why I have a problem with what he said.
Yeah, I hear you.
Because I'm always wondering,
right,
whose bidding is he doing?
Sure.
Because he's always doing something. I mean, let's be real. Let's be real about it. He can get mad. I don't care. It's not like he can dislike me any more than he does. He's always doing somebody's bidding. He's always carrying someone's water. Whose water is he carrying here? Who's he doing a favor for when he puts out there, not what you just said, but this idea that he just wants too much money? Like, is that the reaction that the Commanders had if Ben Johnson's agent explained he's just not ready? to make the move. He's just not ready to take on the team. There's just something that is causing him to decide to wait. So you need an explanation that isn't about you. It's got to be about him. It can't be he sees anything wrong with our organization and he senses he won't be successful in his first stop as a head coach. He just wants too much money.
Right.
So we don't want him.
Yeah.
And look, I think the Commanders are very sensitive to the perception that they aren't getting their first choice. They set it up with Adam Peters. Many believe in advance. They knew they were getting their first choice. Hey, all you fans beaten down by 24 years of Dan Snyder, there's a new sheriff in town. We get who we want. People want to be here despite this stadium that we play in. People want to be here. They want to be part of this. If you start swinging and missing, that's a bad narrative to have. So I'm predicting Shefty will be breaking the news of who the next Commanders coach is and all other related Commanders news for the foreseeable future for putting out there this idea that it's about Ben Johnson wanting too much money, when it very well might be what you just said, a more reasoned, thoughtful decision that it's in his best interest to wait until the next cycle. Now, the counter to that is when the window's open, you're taking the risk the window's going to close. Just ask Byron Leftwich.
Yeah.
Where's he now? I don't even know where he is now. And he was hot candidate where it felt inevitable he's going to be a head coach. So sometimes if you don't go through that window, there's no window to go through, but I don't think that's going to happen given what we expect
what we've seen
from
so
the Lions.
far.
But who knows?
Yeah.
But who knows?
No, you're right.
Nobody knows for sure.
No, you're right. Next year, Jared Goff could get hurt. They could end up being the 20th ranked offense, not be as good, not getting the playoffs, and everybody knows he's a good coach, but he's just not the hot name, and maybe there's not as many seats open next year, and all of a sudden you don't get a job. You're right. It's a risky decision. But I think it's one where we go back to this conversation a lot where he looks at it and he probably goes, hey, a lot of the times you only got one shot to do this right. And if you're confident in who you are as a coach, you go, I want to make sure that I'm in the right position, the right power, being paid, compensated, years, money, all of that works the right way. Control the organization. Mike, in all honesty, that's where my other thought went, right, is Adam Peters, new GM, right? Was there something there? And I know Adam. He's a hell of a football mind. I know that. I got a lot of faith in him. Of course, he was with the 49ers and Shanahan forever. He's a strong personality, right? He's got control there right now. Maybe Ben Johnson didn't like that. Maybe Ben Johnson wanted a little more control like Shanahan has with the 49ers. And maybe, Adam Peters is like, wait, I saw that, and I want to be the GM, and I want to be the guy that's in control. Right, so maybe that's one there where, they got their guy in Adam Peters, but maybe they should have figured out if Ben Johnson likes Adam Peters and down with that too as well. Those are certainly some of the things that went through my mind. Because anybody you talk to, football, agents, whatever, Ben Johnson to Commanders the last 2 weeks that's probably going to happen. So I don't know what happened in the last 48, 96 hours, 5 days, whatever, but something went awry, took a right turn, a left turn, whatever the hell you're supposed to say there, and it didn't work out. And I was shocked to see that news yesterday. I really was.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.